And so, here comes Caleb and says, depending on what the Lord had promised, today I want you to give me an inheritance. And the inheritance I want you to give me where the descendants of Anak live. I want you to give me the land of the Giants. How old is this man? 85. How many of you in here are 85? How many of us know here of a man who is 85 and wants to be deployed in the army? I know 85 years. We are not talking about nursing homes, alright? We are talking about group homes. But Caleb comes and says, you know what? The Lord promised some 40 years that He's going to bless me and He's going to give me an inheritance. And because now it is time for inheritance to be given, I don't want you to give me just any other land. I want you to give me the mountains where the giants that do what? Live. Why? Because it goes ahead and says, because I know for sure that if the Lord promised that He's going to defeat the giants, still He's going to do what? To do it. And that is why He's saying, give me this mountain. Brothers and sisters, in our lives, we've got mountains that surround us. Remember, it is these mountains that had scared the children of Israel to the point some of them had to die in the wilderness. Why? Because of those people who are living in the mountains. So the mountains was a symbol of those people or it was a symbol of something that scares the skin out of people. And I know for sure, as a church and as individuals, we have got situations in our lives which, when we look at them, they are just like mountains before us. Some of us are in school, and we talk with some of you. And sometimes you say, you know what, I'm going to sleep late, I'm going to wake up early, because I know for sure that this nursing thing is a huge mountain. As a church, we've had the collection here. We want to buy a church. But sometimes we look at ourselves. We calculate the number of people we are here at Faith. And then we calculate the number of people who are in other churches somewhere. And yet they have not got a church. But now we are being told, as small as we are in here, we can buy a church. That can be a mountain. Some of us young people, you have got careers ahead of you. Or you want to start a family. But yet you've moved left and right. Left and right. This person you think is the right person. And then out of nowhere, this thing doesn't go anywhere. You go to this other side and you see, it is not working. To you, it can be a mountain. But the question is this. The Lord, when He brought you to this place, I believe when God brought each and every one of us into this land, the Lord did not bring us here to waste us and to destroy us.
That's right.
The Lord cannot move you all the way. You come all this way to this country so that He can make a mockery of Himself. Just like the Lord could not move the children of Israel from Egypt and come and finish them in the promised land. He knew there were going to be giants. He knows that you are going to face issues in your life. But the big question is this. Are you a group of the 11 who say, you know what, we cannot do it. It is not possible. And that is why sometimes when it gets so hard, instead of us believing the word of God, we start believing in ourselves and we start doing some other things which are ungodly. We're just like the 11 who decided, you know what? Instead of us dying in Canaan, let us go back and die in Egypt, where you used to eat pumpkins. And by the way, when you realize they never even ate those things were eaten by kings. So I think they were just eating the smell. But they're saying that they want to go back there. But remember, God had promised that He's going to take them to the promised land. Or are we just like Caleb? Caleb who knew that if the Lord is for us, nobody and absolutely nothing can be against us. He knew though there are going to be giants, but if the Lord is for us, then nobody can be against us. Remember when David was fighting, he comes and fights for 40 days and 40 nights. His brothers and the whole of Israel have been fighting one giant. Alright, you remember this story? Mm-hmm. The story of David and Goliath. The Bible tells me for 40 days and 40 nights, the children of Israel would dress up like soldiers. They would dress up like soldiers. They would come out of their tent. But when they came out of their tent, the first thing they met was a what? A giant. And what do? And then